What's up, everyone? Got my 4 eggs, beans that I made earlier today, rice that I made in my rice cooker with, of course, garlic. I eat about a bowl a day at least. Carrot, spinach, basmati rice, and I put raisins in here. I've got ginger in here, and I've got cayenne pepper, and I've got salt, and I have a little bit of, I think I have dill in here too. So, here's a little sidebar. I just got back, well, I didn't just get back, but I got back from the gym about an hour ago. Oh, my stupid camera, man. This thing's breaking. I got back from the gym about an hour ago, a little more than an hour ago. And I did some, I had to do some emailing, so I had to send some stuff off in email. And I did that. It took me about an hour. And then I prepared my food, and I have eggs in my my meal that I'm eating an hour after I worked out. So that's another thing that gets floated around about eating fat after you work out and eating fast carbs, and people will eat. That's all bodybuilding for normal people. For normal people who want to be, if you're watching me, this is about reversing age. This is not about bodybuilding. This is not about, we're not doing steroids. We're not trying to do any of that stuff. We're not trying to, a lot of that stuff anyways, it just sounds good. It just sounds good. But normal people hear that stuff and they're like, well, I'm going to eat garbage sugars after I train because they think it's going to pump more blood to their muscles. That's all a bunch of BS. And that takes you away from where we're going. We're going opposite of what is out there. We're reversing our age. This is what we're doing. So if you want to eat eggs after you train, you can do that. And if you don't want to eat anything, you can do that too. Like, I didn't eat for an hour. Sometimes I have bananas. Sometimes I have apples. I just go off. I eat the same foods, and then I just pick and choose when I want to eat them. So, what was I going to talk about? Hang on one second. I know what I was going to talk about. This is what I was going to talk about. I was going to talk about something in my book. This book right here. I kept it very concise. I kept it very simple, very easy to understand. And when it comes to the micronutrients that I talk about, I keep things simple, and I keep the micronutrients. I mean, I'm not going to go into every micronutrient. So the things I went into were based off of things that people are generally deficient in, stuff like B12, potassium, stuff like that. Then I take it, I go another angle with it, and I talk about the deficiencies that could happen when you try to actually eat foods like this all the time. When you try to eat unprocessed foods, and when you eat a lot of unprocessed foods, you could easily become deficient in things because people don't know how to eat. And I talk about in here how processed foods that are fortified with micronutrients are actually saving people for the time being. In the beginning, they are, and then that way they could kill them later. You know, so it's kind of a weird thing when you think about it, because processed foods are saving people initially because people have no clue how to eat. They don't. So they have to fortify these foods with micronutrients, because people will not meet their daily value of micronutrients just eating whatever. They won't do it. So when you try to eat 100% unprocessed foods, if you do it, if you get to where you're eating 100% unprocessed foods, you better know how to eat. You better. That's why you have to be your own nutritionist. You have to know what you need micronutrient wise, where it comes from the macronutrients. You have to know what's in your eggs. You have to know what's in your rice. You have to know what's in your beans. You have to know what's in, all your foods, micronutrient wise. That way you're meeting your daily value of all these things. And the ones I talk about in here are the ones that can easily be deficient in. I don't go into everything. I mean, that's just, it's stupid. It's redundant. It's not, it goes, this book would be this fat, right? So I go into the stuff that really matters. And one of them is B12, which a lot of people, even not just vegans, are deficient in B12. Meat eaters can be deficient in B12. So a lot of people are. And where I go, the angle I go with this book, because it's the vEGGan diet. The focus on the animal product is on eggs. But in here, I talk about meeting your B12 requirements, your value. Now, B12 gets stored, there's a daily value on it. And to just go off of that, off of a daily value, the math is done in here. It takes about 11 eggs if that's all you ate as an animal product, and no supplement, although supplement is required by doctors and everyone should be taking a B supplement, B12 and Bs really. But I break it down to what is in the food, and specifically the eggs. So roughly a dozen eggs is where you're going to get your daily value for the B12. Just that one micronutrient. Now, is that going to be done? Can that be done? Yeah. But is it going to be done? No. Very few people are going to eat a dozen eggs. And does that imbalance other things? See, everyone has a different life, a different body, different needs, different imbalances that they were born with. Everyone's different. So this isn't an egg diet. This is about perfecting each person's diet. This is about me perfecting my diet, and people can take from this and perfect their own diet with it based off the standard being set at 100% unprocessed foods. People don't have to try it and reach that bar. But if the standard is set there, they're going to reach a lot higher than where the standards that are set on the floor for these other types of diets, where everything's a cheat and everything. I mean, there's diets that people eat tons of processed foods throughout their day. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. Eat this type of bread. Bread is processed. In here, we talk about no processed foods whatsoever. And then if you don't want to do that, that's fine. That's fine. But I'm saying is the standard is that high for age reversal when it comes to the diet. When it comes to the lifestyle, the standard's up there too. When it comes to the mindset, the standard's up there too. And that will bring up the fourth element, which is the training, the exercise, based off of these three, if the standard is set at perfection. Nothing does that. No one does that. I'm doing that. So I'm sharing it with people. So there's options for meeting B12 with the diet. And then I say what I do. I take a supplement. I eat eggs. I take a supplement. I throw in a little bit of seafoods. I give some options for some of the best seafoods that have they're higher in B12s. And also there's meat. I don't eat meat, but this is not a vegetarian diet. This is not a vegan diet, obviously, eggs, but it's not a vegetarian diet either. So what do people want to do? The options, I put out options for different things, but I also put out the truths about it. Like overdoing it, overeating animal products is not needed. Our body doesn't need to do that. So what we actually need to be eating animal product wise isn't all that much. Now, if you want to just go with one thing and try to get, that's where I'm trying to get my B12 from, is eggs, and that's it. Well, you're gonna have to eat about a dozen eggs a day. Now, if you want to break things out, add other things, like if you add like clams, their baby clams are hot. You don't need that much. You don't need just about a few ounces, and you can meet your requirements. So it's just a small little bit. That's it, just a little bit, and that will meet your B12 requirements. Or if you ate like 6 eggs a day, you just need a few little handfuls of not even a few little handfuls, few actual baby clams that'll put you over your daily value. So I talk about that in here, and that's how I like to keep things like that, like what they are, and the micronutrients I talk about are the ones that people can be deficient in. And if you're eating unprocessed foods, it's easy to be deficient in certain things. So B12 is something people are deficient. Even people who even exceed the daily value by 50 times. So, there's reasons for that. And it's just, it's the way it is, man. Our bodies aren't absorbing it for some reason. My body absorbs it. My B12 is perfect. So, knock on wood. But I take a supplement. I take a B12 supplement every day, under the tongue one. I don't do the shots. And when it comes to food, eggs are my primary source. I throw in a little bit of seafoods, clams, oysters, and a little bit of fatty salmon, but that's mostly for the fat side. So I break down what things are. That's what I do in here. So for me, when I throw in salmon, that's for the fats. It's not for the protein. It's not for the complete proteins. It's for the fats. And it's not for the B12 either, even though it's an option for people. So everyone needs to figure out, when you're eating the way you're supposed to be eating, and if you're trying to understand what your body needs, you're gonna need to figure out what you're getting out of what source, and what you need to add, what you need to take away, how much of this you need to eat. And once you actually can hone that, it'll take a while. It will take a while. And I won't talk about that. But anyways, it'll take a while. And once you actually hone that, it becomes instinct. But people should want to know that. And then we're talking everything. Start with the main things. Always start with the main things. But then you want to know what your body needs across the whole board. And eventually, once you get to where you know everything, then you know what you eat, and you just kind of eyeball things, and you just know. Then you end up forgetting things, So if you document it, you can go back and you look. Always document stuff, and you can go back and look and be like, oh, okay, because you're going to forget all kinds of things. So, oh, okay, I remember that now, and okay, I got that. And then that'll go out of your head again, because it's just life, right? Anyways, I'm going to eat my food, doodle on the guitar, and get back on the computer and continue on working. I got some things I got to do. So go to my website, click the links below, and check out what I'm doing. I'm doing one-on-one. So for the time being, if you want to do one-on-one with me while I'm still doing it, I'll try to do it as long as possible. But the more people that want to do it, the less I can do it. So we're in the beginning of this. We're in the very beginning of this. So if anybody is interested in that, click the link below and go check out what I'm doing and all that. And if you don't have this book, you can order this book on Amazon, everywhere. And it's even free in the ebook, and you have to find that. I don't know. I don't know. It's free in some places. I got it free, but that's an ebook. So Amazon's not free. Anyways, have a great day.